Hello everybody, my name is Eridu67. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing a series I've been wanting to do. Is everything you need to know about Tera regarding level caps, different abilities for characters, what classes, which class DPS, which one's better for tank. I got most of the information from the actual website. What I do is translate what most of the stuff means. I'll leave a description below if you want to see more in-depth stuff. Also, if this video can reach 50 likes, I will do another one of these to see if you guys really like this information. What I'm doing is just giving information about everything you know about Tera before the release on console for Xbox One and PS4. So all this is from PC, and I'm just giving you a general broad, I guess, overization. I don't know. Well, I don't know the word for it, but let's get right into the video. First thing we're going to do is look at the actual level cap. The level cap for Tera is 65, as you see. Now if you go on the website and you'll see all the skills, it says 63. 63 is the max level to max out all your skills, but the actual level cap is 65. Keep that in mind. Make sure you also have a pen and paper if I go too fast or something like that. Now let's get right to the first class, which is called Archer. Archer is a penetration class base build. It penetrates armor, traps enemy, has poison, stun, all that stuff. Now we're going to look on the side. It's a marksman. That means the archer hits fast, arrows and stuff like that. Sabotage, that's the skill abilities from the arrows. Poison, stun, trap, damage to targets. Basically, think of Neverwinter's Ranger, same ordeal. The armor is actually light, which represents something of a rogue, because rogue usually wears melee armor for speed and mobility. You'll have less healing, but you will get more damage though. So for the weapon of choice, of course, archers have a bow. Bows like a rapid fire, exploding arrows, piercing arrows, poison arrows, different arrows that hit multiple enemies at once. You'll get different type of arrows as you progress in your level. We have a thing called sample glyphs. These start at level 20s. You have these little things called glyph points to customize your skills, such as slick penetrating arrow, which eliminates slow movement, energetic breakaway bolt. Basically, it's just these glyph points that increases your skill and ability. Now we look at the skill overview from level 1 to 63. We have a total of around 20 to 25 skills. At level 1 is your basic arrow, backstep. Think of the backstep from Neverwinter, and you go all the way to level 63. Something more massive as Thunderbolt, which is like a huge fire concussive arrow that just damages everything and knocks them back. So as you progress from the levels, you get much stronger, like every MMO, every game. Basically, if you want to be an archer, keep this in mind. Light armor, you have a bow, you're more subtle to take more damage, but you won't require less healing, because I believe you're able to heal yourself because you are a ranger. Something of Neverwinter for reference. And let's get right into the next class. The next class we are going to look at is Berserker. Berserker is one of my most favorite class from this game. It's an absolute tank. It's think of the orc from Neverwinter, and he has a bunch of paladin armor. So what about Berserkers they do is something called a frontal assault. They are live in combat, they take risks, they do things with their MP, because this is an MP based game. They require a lot on their skills. They're able to take more damage because they have heavy armor. They have things to knock enemies back, such as Siege Breaker, that's their main ability. And they have the weapon choice of an axe. So basically, Berserker is this amazing tank. If you want to take a role of a DPS, you can as Berserker, but keep in mind that Berserker is really slow. And at level 65, Berserker gains the ability to tank for endgame, stuff like that. So during 1 to 64, you are a quote-unquote tank, but you're more DPS than anything. 65 is when you're actually tanking, you gain more abilities. So if we look at some of the glyphs, you have some things called Brilliant Bloodlust, reduce your MP cost for abilities, Hasten Clone, increase your charging speed, stuff like that. And if we look at the skill overview, we have something called Axe Blocks for level 1, just to block enemies' attacks with your axe. And if you go all the way to 65 for this character, you have some things called Unbreakable, Punishing Strike, Overwhelm. Now, I want to go back to my point where I said that most skills, depending on the class, only goes up to a certain level. Like as Archer went up to 63, this one goes up to 65, I believe, just to give you more edge ability on end game. Let's get right into the next class, which is called Brawler. I'm not too familiar with this class, I'm learning it with you, so let's get right into that. Now for this class, it's called Brawler. I think this is actually one of the newer classes. When I mean newer, I mean like the newest from 2011. That's classified as new. This probably came out like 2015 or such. Brawler is a DPS tank with Doomfist abilities. You know, it's just she has this massive power fist. Oh, speaking of I'm sorry to interrupt this point. Most classes in this game is gender based. So if you want a certain class, such as I believe Ninja is regarded to a female race that's like really short. And some classes are just just only female, only male. I just want to get that point out the way. So if you are wary on which ones, I'll leave a link in the description, such as like this class is male, this is female only, stuff like that. I won't forget because that's very important to remember. Now let's go back to Brawler. Brawler is in your face tank, has massive power fist, punch counter. She has a crazy move that she can knock enemies back in the air and just do devastating combos on them. It's ridiculous. If you want to see some of the videos right here, you can go, like I said, in the description below and see some of the classes for yourself. I'm not going to play them just out of respect because it's on the website, but some of the skills she has, for example, for level 1 is just simple as punch, counter, and if you go all the way to level 65, she has stuff like infuriate, which is like challenging enemies in a wide area, maxing your Argo. I mean, stuff like that. So it doesn't seem like she has a lot of skills, in my opinion, but I think because she's pretty overpowered. The way she's looking already, she looks pretty overpowered. So it's basically going to be recycling some of the old moves from like level 1 to 10, and then you'll get some new stuff at like 16, 18, stuff like that. So be wary of this class. She's very overpowered, but she doesn't have a lot of skills. So let's get right into the next class, which is called Gunner. And this is a very interesting class. Now for Gunners, the one thing I really appreciate about Tera is that they have humongous ass weapons. Like, they're incredibly used in this very vast landscape. It's just crazy. For Gunner, she has something called big ass guns, which is just nothing but cannons on her arm. It's ridiculous how powerful they are. She can summon constructs. You know, you'll never be alone. You have turrets and stuff. Heavy armors, like as the Berserker. And level 65, you'll be able to access a wide range of her willpower and just a whole lot of goddamn damage. It's ridiculous. Some of her key skills is Scatter Shot, which gets the enemy attention. Burst Fire, which is like you attack a lot of enemies at once. Point Blank, you just shotgun Reaper Blast, you know, the enemy. It's just ridiculous. Some of the key points to Gunner though is she is a little bit on the slower side, but when she is above level 65, you're able to get more speed and stuff like that, which is kind of strange. But if you'll understand once you play the game that you'll start a little bit slower, but at level 65 you're a little bit faster, just because of that in-game advantage. Some of her skills: Blast 1, I believe that's through 12. Time Bomb 1 through, I believe that is 11. I'm not sure, I can't remember my Roman numerals very well. Bladers, Vengeance 1 through 2, Rolling Reload, stuff like that, Scatter Shot. Now, should I recommend this class? I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna try out this class because she seems pretty bomb. When I played Tera, I was mainly just a tank on PC. I don't play it on PC anymore. I don't play a lot of PC games anymore. More console, stuff like that. But when I did play Tera back in the day, I was a lot of a tank. I wasn't familiar with all the DPS characters, so I had to do a little bit of research. So let's get right into the last two classes, which is Lancer and then Mystic, and then we'll be done with the video. And if you want any more information, like I said, 50 likes. And alright, so let's get to... Alright, now we get into the 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth character, fifth class that you could be, and that is Lancer. Lancer reminds me, if you ever played Final Fantasy IX, and it was this character, I can't remember her name, but she was a Lancer in the party, and take of that as a reference. So she has a large shield, a Lancer, of course, hence the name of the class. Armor is plate, so it's heavy, but it's well-rounded. It's well-rounded. It's not too heavy, but it's more like paladin armor. Like I said, the weapons is a lance and a shield. She's basically a off tank from the actual main tank. So if you want to go as this character, be wary that you're not the main tank. You're basically helping the tank in support roles and stuff like that. Some of her skills is like backstep. Same thing as I believe as Archer. Archer has backstep as well, which is pretty interesting. Combo attack, and then you go all the way to something called Hold the Line, increase your aggro and different stuff. You could also do timely blocks and all this crazy stuff. There's a lot of crazy classes in Tera. Also keep this in mind too, there's 13 classes in Tera. I'm only reviewing 6 for right now, but if you guys want to see more, like I said, 50 likes, and I'll do the other 7 if you enjoy this stuff right here. And I'm not going to do a jump cut because Lancer ties in with Mystic in a way, because Mystic and Lancer are the two top, I would say, DPS behind maybe Archer or a Gunner. But Lancer and Mystic, these two classes are always tied in together. I don't know why, but people like to dual level with a Mystic and a Lancer. I'm not sure. I guess because one does more DPS, the other one's an off tank, not too slow, not too fast. But Mystic is a wizard overall. Now she uses a lot of MP. She relies a lot on her skills. Her armor is a robe. I believe that gives her advantage for protection, but she will get really hurt. But she has to steal some magical pets to help her survival on the battlefield. Her weapon is a Spectre, basically a staff, something like that. If we go to her skills, she has a pretty good level 1 skill, which is called Arvun's, I'm pronouncing this wrong, is it Vide? Or I'm not sure. You gather the Arnic power and you recover HP, helps you for survivability. Pretty sure that's why Lancers and Mystics are usually put together, because they survive longer with each other. And you jump all the way down to, I believe, level 63. You have something called Boomerang Pulse. Fires a lot of damage at a lot of enemies. Once you get to the end games, I've been noticing a trend is you can attack a lot of enemies with all these classes. And I believe that's all for today. Thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, you're a real one. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you want to see more. 50 likes on the video if you want to see a part 2 to this video. I did a lot of research and made sure that I had everything right. And if you want to have more detail on each class for today's episode, I will link all of them in the description. So if I went too fast or you need more understanding of it, it will be in the description. I'm just here to break down the best information from this crazy range of skills and information. And I know if you're a little kid or something like that, you're like, wow, what is this? Anyway guys, thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to Airdo67. Follow my Twitter, Vin Does Work. Thank you guys for watching, and peace out.